Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my first impressions look on Spencer Dinwiddie's brand new signature, or it's not brand new, it's actually been out for like a couple of months, but I finally got my hands on a pair. So yeah, this is the 361 degrees DVD 3. So if you guys didn't know, the DVD 1 was actually a very solid, amazing performer, especially for the price. It was like $100 I believe it was. And then for the DVD 2, the DVD 2 was solid, right? But my favorite shoe of last year, or one of my favorite hoop shoes of last year, was the DVD 2 SE, because it's just everything about that shoe was amazing, right? So now we have the DVD 3 and I was very excited about this shoe. So if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave in the affiliate link in the description box. If you do choose to get this shoe, it does help me out if you buy it through the affiliate link in the description box. And also, a lot of you guys have been asking me about the socks that I've been wearing in all my videos. It's actually my brand, is called Young Hone. It's a multi-purpose sock, so it's like it does everything really well. So if you want to be comfortable when you're going out, you want a good looking sock, you know, simple good looking sock, then you can wear those. But also if you're hooping or working out, those are a really good option because they do have nice padding. It's not as thick or as well padded as like a basketball sock, but it does have way more padding than like just like a regular sock, you know what I mean? So yeah, a link to that will be in the description box as well. But let's get it started right off with the traction. So as far as the traction pattern goes, we have a lot of patterns. So it's pretty much a storytelling traction pattern, right? We got a very nice kind of like chocolate brown color and then a lighter brown color for the rest of the outsole. So yeah, how does the traction feel so far on my wood floors? It feels pretty nice. It has a nice little bite to it as well, but not that amazing. Hopefully it breaks in. I mean, for me, the DVD2 and the DVD2 SE had amazing traction. Also, most of the shoes from 361 has really nice traction, so maybe I need to break it in a little bit, but right now it's feeling pretty dang good so far. Also, there's a tiny bit of squeak. It's actually not super squeaky, which kind of sucks because I like to have a nice squeak to my hoop shoes, which of course has nothing to do with performance, but if you like to have a nice squeak, right now it's not super squeaky, right? And as far as the outdoor use goes, it seems really bad. I mean, on their tech specs, it says it's built or made for indoor use as well as outdoor use, but just feeling the rubber, it's actually really soft, right? And also the grooves are really thin, and the grooves aren't super deep either, so I really don't think it'll be the best for outdoor use, right? I mean, there's some really thin grooves on this actual outsole, so yeah, the traction is feeling pretty good so far. Here in the forefoot, we have a little kind of slit that exposes the quick CQ Tech foam, and also here in the heel it says 361, but also that exposes the Energy X Plus foam, right? And also we have here in the middle of the outsole, right here in the midfoot, this special plate, right? So moving on to the heel to toe transition, so it feels pretty smooth, but it does feel a little clunky here in the heel. Why is that? It's because they added this this is the stiffest freaking plastic I've ever felt. You know what I mean? Like, what is it? What are they doing here, right? So if you guys look at the DVD2 SE and the DVD2, there's a little slit there, right? And it exposes the quick CQ Tech foam and it allows for a little bit of compression there, right? But then look at this. This is literally plastic and it's just super clunky. And it feels very similar to like the Kobe 9, you know what I mean? Like the Kobe 9, Kobe 11, where it's just, there's not any type of compression here. So that kind of sucks. So it does feel clunky, you know what I mean? But I mean, we do have a very nice curve shape, so it's not terrible, but I wish it wasn't this really hard plastic. I can't believe how hard and stiff this plastic is here in the heel, right? And then coming here into the forefoot, we have a nice curve shape, right? So the overall shape is nice, it just feels clunky here in the heel, right? Also here in the forefoot, we have a nice flex. I mean, it's not super easy. You do need to put a little bit of force into it, but it's not like super stiff, kind of like the GT Cut 3 Turbo and like the WOW 11, but also has a nice kind of rebound back to it, you know what I mean? Giving it a nice little like springy feel. Overall torsional support seems really good as well, and we can see this kind of, it reminds you a little bit of the Eclipse plate because they are coring out the midsole just a tiny bit, but apparently they are using two individual like plates, and also those two plates have a different hardness, right? So because of that, you can have a little bit more control over the actual kind of like feel of the shoe, right? So I'm guessing they put the softer one here in the forefoot and the stiffer one here in the heel, but yeah, they have an individual plate going from the heel to the midfoot, and then another one coming from the midfoot to the forefoot, right? So yeah, again, the torsion support is good. I'm not 100% sure at how useful that is, you know what I mean? But they did add it there. It's supposed to be their new system. But yeah, overall heel to toe transition, overall smooth, you know what I mean? I do like the nice kind of springy feel here in the forefoot, but it is clunky here in the heel, right? And now moving on to the cushioning setup. So the cushioning setup in the DVD2 SE was one of my favorites of last year. I can definitely see some people saying you know, it's a little too soft, you know what I mean? Especially with the full-length quick CQ Tech foam and the soft mesh strobe board. Especially if you're like a heavier dude and you want like a stiffer, more responsive feel, right? But for me, it was perfect. It was really soft, it had a nice bit of balance and all that, right? But then here in DVD3, I don't know what it is. I mean, I feel like maybe Spencer Dinwiddie was like, I want something a little bit stiffer. Maybe that's the case, I don't know. But they are using NRGX foam and quick CQ Tech foam as well, right? But it's not full length. So the NRGX foam is actually in the heel, right? It comes from the heel all the way into the midfoot. And then in the forefoot, we have quick CQ Tech foam. I mean, obviously you can see it from these kind of like slits here, right? That exposes the actual foam. So yeah, like I said, the heel sucks, you know what I mean? It's very, very clunky. There's no compression at all. And also, there's no really compression underneath my heel right now, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not that heavy, so maybe I need to break it in a little bit and play in it, you know what I mean? But I don't really feel any type of good underfoot cushion in the heel right now, right? And as far as the insole goes, the insole is alright. It's just a regular ortholite insole, and also we have like a, I don't know, it looks like a boba cup to me, right? Or maybe it's like coffee, I don't know, because like you don't really drink coffee with a straw. But then this is the feather colorway. So anyways, yeah, so we got the insole there, and then underneath the insole, they're giving us a pretty stiff strobo board. It's glued down here in the heel. Just feeling it with my finger, it's not that soft, right? So the heel cushion, not that nice. The forefoot, however, is actually kind of soft. Like, you know, just walking around here in the heel, not nice, you know what I mean? But once I put a little bit of weight into the forefoot, I can feel the quick CQ Tech foam just a tiny bit. Obviously, it's not as soft as, you know, like the DVD2 SE or like the Genesis or the Joker one or the Team Joker. Pretty much all their hoop shoes, right? From 361, but it definitely is a little bit softer than the heel. As far as the overall court feel goes, court feel is actually pretty good, right? We'll have to see on impact protection. I feel like the heel just feels so stiff, you know what I mean? So the only redeeming part about this cushioning setup to me right now is the softness from the quick CQ Tech foam here in the forefoot. And I guess the court feel being pretty good, but other than that, it definitely is a huge disappointment from the DVD2 and the DVD2 SE, right? So there is the cushioning setup there. Moving on to the upper. So the upper, they're using a lot of synthetic materials, right? So here in the forefoot, like, look at this. It's pretty much like a very thin plastic material, right? And it's actually not super soft. You know what I mean? Like, look, I'm pressing it. There's not too much give to it. It actually feels pretty dang supportive. And also, it does pinch a good amount here. You know what I mean? Like when I'm flexing and walking, it does pinch a little bit right here. Which kind of sucks, you know what I mean? It's just a plastic material. It's probably gonna break in a little bit, but it's not gonna get super soft, I don't think, because of this plastic. So yeah, it's just a huge departure from like the DVD2 SE, you know what I mean? The SE had like that lino weave type of material, super thin, and also the ventilation was really good, but they just did a 180. You know what I mean? It's just a very, very different feeling shoe, you know what I mean? But I guess the one good thing is that it is pretty thin, and it does feel supportive. But I would want it to be a little bit softer in my personal opinion. But I guess if you want more of like a sturdier, more supportive feel, and while still being like a thin material, then this is still pretty nice, right? We also have some more fuse, right over here. It kind of goes all the way around like a band. And then here in this color, we have like this really fuzzy material on the lateral side and on the medial side for this quarter panel. It also says hard work and honor on the medial side. And yeah, it's just a really fuzzy material, right? And then for the tongue, we have actually like a nice bit of padding, kinda. It's not super well padded, but you know, it's still kind of cozy on top of your foot. And also, I do like this kind of like pattern on it, right? This quilted pattern. That does make it feel a little bit more premium. It's also a half booty construction tongue, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit. And also, we do have that kind of like plastic material going around the first 3 eyelets, right? right over here. And also on the last kind of like 2 eyelets right here, excluding this one I guess, these are actually kind of like a stiffer plastic, so it does add a little bit of support and structural rigidity to the midfoot area. And then here for the ankle area, we have a very nice kind of like lining material. First of all, it looks cool, it feels soft, and the actual kind of like quality of the material feels nice, right, for the lining. Here on the sides, it actually is pretty thick, you know what I mean? We do have a nice bit of padding there, and then in the ankle area, like right where your Achilles is, it, first of all, it has a nice cupping shape. It like cups your heel very nicely. It improves the heel lockdown, but also it does feel very nice and cozy. It is very thick for the foam here. So yeah, I mean, it's not the best, like, so for the quality, I feel like it's not the greatest, you know what I mean? It seems very synthetic, it's stiff. You know, we'll have to see once I break it in how it breaks in and all that, but right now it's not feeling too good, and I am a little bit disappointed in like how it feels even on foot, you know what I mean? So there is a material there. Moving on to the fit, so I went true to size, and this shoe fits me overall pretty good. It's not super snug or anything, but also not super roomy. I would say it's a little bit more snug than normal, right? So here in the toe box, again, it's a nice snug fit, but not super snug. I can curl my toes up just a tiny bit. Lengthwise, I'm good going true to size, and widthwise, it's not super narrow or anything, which of course is a good thing. So yeah, if you want a nice kind of snug fit, then you should be going true to size and you'll be fine, right? And if you do have a wide foot, maybe go up half a size. And now moving on to the support and lockdown, yeah, I mean, this shoe feels like it'll be very supportive, right? So for lateral containment, we do have this kind of like this plastic piece and just comes up, you know? And also here in the heel, we do have the plastic coming up a little bit, right? This really stiff plastic, but also we have an internal TPU heel. It doesn't even move, you know what I mean? So lateral containment feels like it's gonna be very, very good. And also the overall material, like not only here in the midfoot, but also in the forefoot feels pretty dang supportive, you know? So support feels very good. Lateral stability also feels pretty good. I mean, it's not a super wide base, like there's no crazy sharp outrigger, but it does feel laterally stable, and overall heel lockdown feels really good, like I said, because of that heel cupping shape, you know what I mean? There's a lot of padding right here, and it kind of cups in, so yeah, overall support and lockdown feels very good, right? And now moving on to the weight of the shoe. I mean, it doesn't feel super heavy, but also doesn't feel super light. I'm guessing like average, like maybe like 12, 13 ounces? Yeah, 12.45 ounces. Let's check the other shoe. 12.4 ounces. So the average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. So yeah, pretty much average weight. And yeah, I mean, it feels average. You know what I mean? Like the upper doesn't feel super minimal, but also doesn't feel like super bulky. It has a nice bit of coziness to it as well. The cushion is low to the ground and responsive feeling because it's overall a pretty stiff cushioning setup, and the traction feels pretty good so far. So yeah, it feels okay on foot so far. And moving on to the aesthetics, I mean, I kind of like this colorway though. You know what I mean? I feel like I have no shoe with this type of color scheme actually. You know what I mean? I do like the off-white, like kind of a tan color, but then like there's not a lot of shoes that I have with like this brown color and also this like lighter brown color. You know what I mean? So I do like the colorway, but the overall design of the shoe, I'm not a huge fan of. You know what I mean? Like especially with this, I thought this looked pretty cool, but other than that, the overall design looks okay. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yeah, I was very excited about these shoes, and I am a little bit disappointed, especially since now that I have it in hand, and also I've worn it. Of course, I haven't played in it yet, so it's not a full performance review. Obviously, it's just my first impressions, but just from my first impressions, it's feeling okay so far. You know what I mean? It's feeling pretty nice, but it doesn't feel like top tier right now comparing it to like all the other shoes that 361 has to offer, like the Team Joker, the Joker 1, you know, the Big 3 5.0 Quick Pro, the DVD 2 SE, you know what I mean? So yeah, that about wraps it up for this video. Again, if you guys do want to comment, try to leave in the link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.